Hi everyone, Anat Kessler here with a new video tutorial, and today I'm going to show you how to carve your own stamps. So we're using a special stamp carve rubber, but you can also use erasers. These rubber, this is the rubber tool, and it comes with, you open the back and it comes with different blades, different width of blades that you can use to carve your stamp. Here they're up close, and I just wanted to say that the pink rubber comes in different sizes, small, medium, large. You can carve whatever image that you want and create whatever stamp that you want. This is a very good tool to create your own stamps instead of buying them. So on the top of the carving tool there is a place to insert whatever blade that you want. You need to turn it a little bit to open it, and then it slides. Make sure it's open all the way, and then it slides through, and then you close it to secure it, because this is the blade is very sharp. And then you're ready to work. So you have two ways to create an image on the rubber. The first way, I want to take one that I've already used, not to start a new rubber. So the first way is to transfer a printed image, let's say this mustache. I've printed it on my home computer, and then now I want to transfer it to the rubber. So what I'm doing is tracing the edges of the shape with a pencil. So anybody can do that. You don't need to know how to draw, because you can just use printed images from your computer and trace them. Once you trace them, you put your image face down, and then take the back side of your rubber tool or whatever, a bone folder or whatever round tool that you have, and you simply press and rub against the rubber, and then the pencil transfers from the paper to the rubber. See, there's my mustache. And you can, if you don't want that, if you decided you want to do something else, maybe you don't like the mustache, you change your mind, you can simply rub it off with the eraser on your pencil. Doesn't erase completely, but mostly. You can use both sides of the pink rubber. The other way, the first way was transferring. The other way is to simply draw whatever design you want on the rubber. Now I want a long stamp, so I'm going to cut the rubber and use the entire space on the piece that I cut. I want to cut another piece because I want two of them, and I can even use that last piece to create smaller stamps if I want. So when you draw your own design on the rubber, you simply take your pencil or your pen, whatever you want, and you draw whatever comes to your mind. I want to draw little half circles or waves. And if you don't like your drawing, you can just erase it and start all over again. So I'm drawing this, and now on this side you just draw whatever comes to your mind, whatever you want, and you can do letters, you can do whatever you want. This is a great way to customize your stamps and create whatever you need to a project, or just something that you need, and instead of buying it, you just create it yourself. It's really fun and very affordable. So once you have your drawing, you need to decide what you want to carve out and what you want to leave. Now the space here that you see that I'm sort of coloring with a pencil, this will all go. And then the little lines in between the drawing that I did, I'm going to just carve little lines. Just going to carve out the lines. But first I'm starting with a smaller blade. And you can see I don't need to apply a lot of pressure. And you can also see that I'm moving the rubber more than I'm moving the blade. This is a much easier way and gives you much more control. Move the rubber instead of the knife. And the first thing that I'm doing is carving out the lines of the image, the outer lines, the borders of the surface that I want to remove. And the thing that you need to understand is once you start carving, you don't need the depth of your carving to be very deep. It only requires a very, very very small difference between the top of the stamp that you want to show, you want to stamp, and the parts that are the negative, the ones that there will be no ink on them. You don't need to carve it very deeply, okay? And if you don't carve it very deeply, then you can use both sides of the rubber to create two different stamps. So that is really, really economical. So I've made the video a little faster. And remember that colored space in between the half circles, this will all going to go. But first I'm carving the outer lines, the edges of that space that I want to carve out. And once that will be done, I can go ahead and change my blades and remove larger spaces. Now I'm going with my small blade to carve the lines. Now what I'm doing is carving between the pencil lines, because I want the pencil lines to show, so they need to stay raised. And the valleys that I'm creating with my carving tool are the ones that basically create the shapes. Did that make sense? Only the raised part of the stamp are going to get the ink and become a stamp. The parts that are lower, the valleys that I'm creating, the parts that are carved, are not going to get any ink. So now I've changed my blade to a wider blade, and I can remove bigger sections of the rubber from that space that I want to remove. And I can even use this on the side and remove even bigger chunks. And you get to change the blades according to the amount of rubber you want to remove. The more rubber you need to remove, the bigger blade you're going to have or you're going to use. And you just keep on carving out all the rubber that you need. Just remove it, not very deep. I remind you, you don't need to go very deep, because it will be a good idea to also create a stamp on the other side. Takes a little bit of practice though, not a lot. I also use the same blade to go over those curved lines again. And now I'm going to test my stamp. So when you want to test your stamp, you just need to bring a piece of scrap paper and some ink. Doesn't matter what kind of ink. And just apply your ink to your stamp and then stamp it on the paper. And then you're going to see, going to stamp it, and then I'll show you what I mean. Once you stamp it, you don't need a lot of pressure. Once you stamp it, see, there are little places where you can still see raised parts. See, like this one here and this one there. These are places that we have not removed the rubber properly. And we need to go back with a very small blade, the first blade that we used. We need to go back and recarve those places and remove those parts that are still raised. That is what I meant by testing your stamp. You need to make sure that the shape turned out exactly as you want and there are no raised parts that you forgot or did not carve properly. So I'm testing it again, and let's see how it turned out now. So this is much better. There's still parts that I need to remove, but it's much better. And then I will keep removing those parts that I need to remove to make sure that I get a clean stamp, a clean image. So I'm going to test it now with some black ink and see how it turns out. Don't bother cleaning the rubber. You can't. It dries on the stamp and it's okay. It's fine. So this is how it looks with a black ink. Look at that. See how pretty that is? And you can just create whatever image that you want, whatever size that you want. You can use it for art journaling and cards and scrapbooking pages and mixed media projects and gift wrapping and whatever you want. And you can, like I said, create 2 stamps on each side of the rubber. These are another 2 stamps that I created, a little owl and a leaf. And you know, the possibilities are endless. So here are my stamps. I really hope you like them and that you will give this technique or stamp carving a chance. It's really fun and really easy to do. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the little bell icon to be notified when I upload a new video so you won't miss anything and you'll be able to follow all the tutorials and make all the projects. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.